Well, I wanted to put something down, something musical, artistic, about my feelings and about the feelings of what I thought were the feelings of other AIDS patients. The feeling of helplessness, the feeling of loneliness. I wanted to express what I felt within myself.
HIV, human immune virus, is mostly spread through direct blood contact with an HIV-infected person. The act of sexual intercourse can lead to one acquiring the HIV virus, although one who practices unsafe sex has higher chances of acquiring it. These are stories well known to many, but it seems other factors leading to the spreading of the disease are what remain unattended to. In less privileged communities, slums hold a number of youth, and this is the cluster of Ugandans that's most prone to HIV/AIDS. This is because quite a number of youth find themselves engaging in lifestyles that they consider trendy, as is the norm today. The other contributing factor is unemployment and stress of the so-called big spenders, sugar daddies and sugar mummies, and other such people who take advantage of circumstances in which they find their prey. The victims, who in most instances are the youth, are hoodwinked into engaging in sexual activity, thereby risking contracting HIV.
Ate abakyala abakulu abamuyina bebagala abaana abato abalenzi bambasiige nolaba omukyalo omukulu naye baka mwana w'omunne namusiga AIDS.
Oba oli awo olaba omusajja bafunayo wali akakazi nkaguzeyo 15,000 kangende nkagira ebiri bye balagira kitegeera awo ate agenze ebiri bye balagira tayambadde.
Kati ate abaana abato obuzibu bwe tulina bagenda ne bagala abaana abakulu abakyala abakulu abaana ab'emyaka emito abavubuka ab'emyaka nga 15 ne yeewanika ku mukyalo omukulu omulwadde wa AIDS.
Muno mulimu obwana obuto myaka 13 14 n'omusanga nga yeegase ku musajja myaka 3 myaka 4 naye nga tamanyi details eza life ziyimiridde zitya, obulamu bwe buyimiridde butya mu kufuna embuto nga bakyali bwana buto. Mu mbuto mwe bafunira ki? Mwe bafunira n'esiriimu.
You know, ghettos is having many people. There are those who are married, those who are not married, those who are single, those who are searching.
Whereas interventions are in place to curb HIV prevalence, how and when it gets into someone's body might be an issue of self-discipline.
In my own experience, I did do my own experiment whereby if I was with a woman, I did try, not through force or anything, to have sex or intercourse with them without putting on a condom. 9 out of 10 failed that experiment, but that was a personal experiment, which shows me that it's my responsibility to protect myself.
In most ghettos in Uganda, government supplies condoms so that the users can protect themselves from contracting HIV, the virus that causes AIDS. I actually came across a number of cans, containers, where condoms are put for easy access in places such as guest houses, hotels, and lodges. However, the problem is that some youth are shy when it comes to purchasing condoms, hence resort to getting the action in their own way.
If you are in a conservative, traditional culture in society, that's what happens. Morals, you know, sex before marriage is wrong and you know. You see, moral and whatnot. Then the youth see it as something dirty, something sinful, something that has to be secret. Nobody should know about. Then they're ashamed, because they're ashamed to buy condoms in public.
Wantu afuna olulimi lwe tuziyita wano nga mu ghetto. Nze kyemanya ekintu kimu bwe mbasikayise ka acid nja kugamba mpaka aswiti kali. Ati wali wona aba abutunda aba akitegeera. Ati wabanga akitegedde nawe omulamu oba ogutegeera agenda kwesanyusa.
There is nothing like being shy about it. If you're shy and you can't go and get condoms to use them, then please abstain. That's my message to the youth. And if you can't abstain, If you can't use the condoms, then you definitely get HIV AIDS, and you all know that there is still no cure for HIV.
There are allegations that these condoms are not used and that the youth fail to consistently take their medication.
Tebalina budde bwabwe kubanga ebiseera ebisinga balwadde batamiivu. Omutamiivu onajjukira kya kondomu osobola okugenda ku munno.
Akuba ffe mwe tusula tutera okulaba nga abantu bayiya eddagala lyabwe, tulaba obucupa empeke ennene bwe ziti bazisuula. Abamu tebaagala kumira ddagala.
Na bino bye baleeta mu ghetto nti kwekebeza nawe olumu balimba abantu. Balina okwogera ekituufu kati for example banajja ne bangamba 07 omusirusiru nti wangi olina akalwadde making sure nti ngenda ku ddwaliro nfune ki eddagala.
Because I have seen some girls have picked these stories from youth that they go and get this PrEP and take it before having sex, and that is how they are preventing HIV from getting them. That is very, very dangerous. You should only take PrEP as recommended by the health practitioners, by the doctors.
The young people, the information that they need to protect themselves doesn't really reach them. And besides that, their sexual activity doesn't include so much of protecting themselves.
We still carry on with the message, appealing to the youth to abstain, but of course it's a difficult thing considering that now at age 13, 14, some of our youths are already sexually active. But we'll continue with the message, providing the message. I can't say it is effective. It's effective for those who actually listen and take this message seriously.
In one of the ghettos, I met Gavin, not real name, who managed one of the clubs in Kampala City, to be specific, in Kawempe. He is in his early 20s and he admits to have connected girls to clients for sexual pleasure.
This might come right from the money you earn from the bars. You know, there are some bars who pay workers the salary that they really need, and there are those who promise and they don't fulfill. So at a certain point, you may find a waitress that she might be tempted to go for a guy, not because she wants, but because she's having her own desires.
In Kampala City, Uganda's capital, it is evident that in slummy areas, bars, restaurants, and anything melodious attract the youth. To find out how the youth are persuaded into engaging in sexual acts, I decided to go undercover, and my targets of interest were bar attendants and waitresses. Party after party, like the saying goes. I spend nights stalking some ladies in a few bars in the slums. Young innocent girls operate in these areas, and lodges are just a few meters away.
Lodge zezisingamu zezireeta obulwadde kyekyo ekisooka. Lodge zireetamu ebintu bingi, owulira ekyo. Mwe muva syphilis, mwe muva enziku, mwe muva buli birwadde by'omanyi byonna biva mu lodge. Ne we ziba si ze zinene ez'omu Kisenyi, ne we ziba ezo ez'aba VIP, ebyaddala zonna zivaamu obulwadde.
Imagine the existence of lodges constructed using timber. Sex in these places goes for as little as 5,000 shillings for what is termed as a shot.
Another one is 10, and $1 for 3,000, $1 for 2,000.
It doesn't matter whether it's day or night time. These rooms are always busy.
Omanyi kati muyinza okwebaka at the end of the day olaba akapiira ne kaabika owulira ekyo osegera ekyo oba ne mwebaka n'ogamba mwana nkongeramu 10 meka 12 tugendeko live osegera ekyo tugendeko live osegera ekyo okakkana naawe nga weesudde mu kinnya.
Unfortunately, when people consume alcohol and other substances and they get drunk, they lose control of their bodies. So what we are going to do as government is to ensure we pass the alcohol policy. We need to have the alcohol control law also in place so that we can regulate the consumption of alcohol. And alcohol can only be consumed from certain hours. But as it is now, people are drinking from whatever hour of the day in the morning when they should be working, and of course that poses a challenge.
For 2 days, I camp in ghetto and decide to take a hard decision.
Now in these places, I really had to put on like a ghetto youth, and if anyone sees me, they won't really suspect that I'm a journalist, but let me just keep trying my luck to find out what exactly happens.
I move to a nearby shop and buy a sachet of waraji. This is because many low-income earners find this drink affordable. Because I had a mission to accomplish, there was no option but to take my booze with company of newly acquired colleagues. After getting high, a term used in ghetto to mean tipsy, a point reached when fear was not my thing, because almost everyone was out of order. These girls, whom I learnt operate in bars, are paid 40,000 shillings a week. Break it down, and it comes to about 5,500 daily. This is realistically not enough for this age.
And for that case, a waitress might be called by a client to be served in the bar, and he can't because of taking much alcohol, might end up losing his normal senses. In so doing, he might be tempted to ask that girl for sex. And because the lady or the waitress is also in need of money, she might also be tempted to do it.
Na government niwe narwana ngate abantu tebalina byakola abaana bali buno babona basula bubi era oli agenda okwebeka ku muntu nganonya kyakulya.
Kati mutweke tubeere busy, muleme tutulugunya, muleme tukwata, buli muntu tugenda funa obulwadde, tugenda kwekalakasa, tugenda kukola, tugenda kwekyawa nga ze n'ontwala ogamba ntwala mwane abaana abamukomera baalimanyiira.
The time I spent undercover in some bars, I identified targets, some of whom I was informed about their HIV status. One of my targets was among these girls. Unfortunately, it all turned out to be a disappointment. These girls were taken by unknown men. But that did not kill my resolve to get the information that I needed to complete my undercover work. The next day, I spent some good hours in a bar until I landed on a target. Her name, she told me, was Kristen. Of course, I knew nothing about her, but in order to achieve my quest, whichever liquid she gave me, I drowned it. After some time of the effort, this lady took me somewhere. It was about 3 a.m. I thought she was taking me to a lodge. Due to the amount of liquor she had taken, she couldn't walk on her 2 feet, but was crawling and throwing up. Basically, she couldn't save herself the embarrassment of the day. I was shocked to learn that it were her rentals.
So this girl takes me at her place. She doesn't know me. She has just met me. And then I don't know what would have happened, but my colleagues brought me back home. Imagine if this girl took some other person whom she doesn't know. Maybe they will steal her things, maybe they will steal her money. But to me, I just had a mission, and my mission is done.
This is the reality happening on ground, not only in slums, but similar scenarios could be happening elsewhere. To reduce the spread of HIV/AIDS, solution-based ideas, self-discipline, and mindset change should be embraced by all Ugandans.
Young people need role models. If you got a role model, somebody you aspire to be like, you respect, either famous person or what, I guess they can get that message out quickly to the young people, all the way down. Even in the ghettos, people there are people who they respect and aspire to be like. Those are the people they will listen to. Not government, not I don't know what you get.
But of course, as a country, we came up with the HIV/AIDS Trust Fund. This law is actually in place. But of course, the regulations have also been developed. Our challenge is that the minute we have not yet as operationalized that fund. And this is something that we have to do in the coming financial year, because we cannot run away from it. We are aware that the donors are scaling down on funding for these HIV/AIDS response. So it's high time that as government, in the next financial year, we started putting aside monies as stipulated in the HIV/AIDS Trust Fund, so that we can be able to deal with our HIV response.
They can assist, but I'm saying getting the message out there, it takes people that people in the ghetto respect, aspire to be like, want to be like. Those are the people they will listen to, and they can get the message quickly.
The 2018 UNAIDS report estimates that 1.4 million people are believed to be living with HIV. Prevalence among sex workers stands at 36%, representing 504,000 people. 84%, representing 1,176,000 people living with HIV know their status. 16%, constituting 224,000 people, do not know their status.
If you move critically to look at majority of Ugandans that know their HIV status, it's actually the women who have the highest percentage. So when it comes to the men, you'll find that this percentage, the 16% of Ugandans that don't know their HIV status, you'll find that majority of these are actually men. So really, we need men on board to be able to fight this HIV/AIDS and reduce on the infections that we are seeing still high in this country.
72%, representing 1,080,000 people living with HIV are on treatment, whereas 64%, representing 896,000 of people living with HIV have their viral load suppressed. As I end this captivating and enlightening escapade in the ghetto, I get to say that HIV elimination is my responsibility and yours as well.
HIV is a reality before mankind, and whereas experts are working hard to find a cure for HIV, all beliefs and theories should be put aside and concentrate on abstaining, being faithful, and using a condom. I know my HIV status. What about you? Remember, prevention is better than cure. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kampala.
Times of sorrow.